Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and in a moment we're going to be looking at some hands I've played on the 25NL Fast Forward Street. All of these hands have been generated by a filter I use for 3-bet pots. So everyone's going to be a relatively chunky pot. Probably going to see a lot of pretty good hands from me. And let's see how we fare. We might even bust out the GTO Wizard. Who knows? We open Ace King. Yeah. Okay, so they're all 3-bet pots apart from this one that isn't a 3-bet pot. Maybe they're not all 3-bet pots. Maybe I've set the filter up wrong. Good start, Reg. Check. Bet small. Raise. Not good news. Clearly too early to fold. Call. Turn 7 of spades, so a complete break. Apart from 6-7 of spades specifically, that's improved. Now just bets half pot after check raising. This wouldn't be the most convincing line I've ever seen. Easy call again. Spade river. Now we see the 3/4 pot bet. I think this hand should be a pretty clean fold. Unless I had some read that villain was mega punchy. But even then, it's just a big stretch for bluffs now. Big stretch for bluffs. Queen 10, ace 10, ace queen, I guess. Some potential bluffs, particularly those ones with a spade in them. But yeah, I think this is meant. But pocket 6 is now one less combo. Pocket 7 surely doesn't exist. So what does a value look like? King Jack, flushes, maybe pocket jacks that didn't 3-bet pre. Yeah, I think we should just fold this hand. I didn't. I called. Villain did have the ace 10 this time. I think we're lucky to run into that. Who knows if this was read based at the time, because party poker hand histories are anonymised, so I've absolutely no idea who this villain is. Can't even tell if it's a reg or not because we've got 4 hands. Yeah, absolutely no idea. But let's see what the wizard thinks. I think the wizard will be like, yep, everything's fine until the river, and then probably fold, would be my guess. So the wizard is not a fan. I'm going to guess river. Yes, it is river. So obviously pre-flop's fine. Flop, check. It won't check back on this flop as its main play, and then mixing between 3 sizes for betting. Now it's wanting to mix fold and call. It's already wanting to fold, which we knew it felt icky on the flop. That's why I said the raise isn't really good news. We did call. Turn, it's just pure calling. River, it's pure folding. Let's be honest. That's a pure fold, isn't it? That is a pure fold for all intents and purposes. And I'm not going to disagree. I'm not always particularly asked what solver says. I think it's interesting to run hands through, not in order to mimic what it's doing, just to get a feel for how close a spot is to equilibrium, and then try and figure out how close it really is in reality versus particular opponents or populations. So, yeah, I'm not at all surprised by that. And I think my call is ambitious, to say the least. Next hand, 2 jacks. Open. 3-bet. Cold call. So now I think we just go into pure 4-bet mode. And then call again. So the wizard's not going to be able to help us with this one, because this won't be a thing. So it'll just tell me to fuck right off. And we flop a set, so whatever. It's going to be quite dull, one would imagine. Yeah, it's very dull. It's very dull. I mean, that's funny. Don't get me wrong. That is funny. I wouldn't have found it funny at the time, but it's funny now in hindsight. But yeah, nothing much to see there. Nothing much to learn there. Cut off, open 3x. I think the correct thing here is probably mix between call and 3-bet. I actually think that just having pure calls on buttons isn't the worst thing ever with these types of hands. Just not bothering mixing the 3-bet. Here's the thing: we want a 3-bet because we want to dissuade action from behind. We want to get some pre-flop fold equity, etc., etc. We don't want to get squeezed. We don't want to flat the button and then be squeezed. But I've played these games long enough recently, and I've got half a lifetime of experience of playing microstakes poker. And the squeeze play just isn't one that's remotely frequently used. Like even the more aggro regs that I've seen big samples on are not big squeeze players. When people squeeze here, they just have fucking good hands. That's what's happening nearly all of the time. And a low percentage of the time, there may be some slightly out of line squeezing or just some flat out fucking spewing. But by and large, when we get squeezed in these spots, we're just up against a fucking good hand. And our equity really probably isn't going to be too good. And we're going to be at best a coin flip and worst fucked. We do go with the 3-bet, and I don't like this. I'm doing this, and I know when I'm doing it, I'm uncomfortable when I start doing it. And it's something I'm keen to remove from my game. Just 3-betting these hands that just want to see fucking flops. Because we get to see flops far more often in reality than we do in theory. So I don't like this. This time we actually do get the cold 4-bet coming in. I mean, this range is just uber nutted. It's just going to be basically, let's have it right, aces, kings, queens, jacks, maybe tens, probably all combos of ace king and a little bit of ace queen. That's the range. But there's lots and lots of ace king and ace queen, I think. More than enough of that to make us want to probably call here. Because there's going to be like, what, 16 combos of ace king, 16 combos, well, maybe not the full complement of ace queen, but a lot of them. There's maybe going to be like over 20 combos of just high cards, maybe more if king queen suited making it in there or some king queen off. So let's say there's going to be like 24 combos. That's 24 to 28 combos of overcards, and then there's 16 combos of jacks through aces. 20 if you count 10. So we're just getting decent odds here to see a flop and see what villain does. So we call. And then we're seeing, this is one of the shitter eggs in the pool. In terms of, I think he's like definitely on the tighter side. So because remember this hand, maybe this isn't the guy who's got all those combos we were talking about pre. Probably still does though, 'cause it's just really not hard to just have all the ace king here and some of the ace queen. It's just not fucking hard to have that. But then I don't think he just jams his flop. I think he's giving us a good chance to get away, and we didn't. This is bad from me. We ran it twice. We lost both. And Billen just had jacks. I wonder if we're just supposed to call the flop there versus the all in. We can just do this one manually, can't we? I know the sizes are off because it went 3x, 9x, etc. But just generally speaking, 3-bet, sevens. See, it's just not even. It's folding sevens. Not a fucking chance. Not having that. No, I'm just not fucking having it. I think sevens should be a pure continue at the micro stakes. Anyways, whatever. It is what it is. Small blind's called 4. We've called. Flops come down. 4 clubs, deuce, well, just 4 deuce, 10 rainbow, doesn't matter, does it? 10, 4, deuce, rainbow. Small blinds just said, yep, I'm all in, mate. Pocket sevens, mixing, call and fold. The minute solver mixes, we should fold. Get in the bin, Reg. Get in the bin. Next one, King, Jack, offsuit, open button. 3-bet, just fold, Reg. Be done with it. Just fold. Just fold, Reg. We're not going to, clearly. This is me tilting. Let's have it right. This will be some reg who I think's out of line. But they're not. None of them fucking are. Just because you're one of the most aggressive regs in the pool doesn't mean you're out of line. This will be against one of the more aggressive regs in the pool that will have pissed me off. This is me tilting. Then we flop ourselves a top pair. He now down bets. We call. I remember this hand too. I know this reg well. I actually chat to him on a semi-regular basis in Discord. It's a good chance he'll watch this video. He checks again. So he checks on this turn. Generally speaking, I think his range is going to be underprotected here. But I could be wrong on that. I decided to go for some value. He calls. River break. He checks. My read on this player is he won't have aces here. He won't have ace king. He won't have pocket kings. So I remember thinking at the time we just had the best hand. Then it's a matter of like, will he call with worse than Jack King if we jam? I also had a little bit without a, with complete transparency and honesty, a little sense of not wanting to show my cards here because I knew I'd made a bad call pre-flop. Yeah, this is me now jamming a river that should, in my opinion, probably check back because it's too thin because I don't want to show my cards. This hand's a clusterfuck. This is a mental game meltdown. We do go all in. He calls. And he had a nicely played 2 queens. King Jack suited. Open. 3-bet. Call. I'm fine here with checking. I'm fine here with betting small. Don't think I'm too fine with using a larger size. Call. Turn queen. I'm fine checking again here. I'm fine betting again here, but I think maybe favour checking. Not because I think it's like we have the worst hand. I think it's just getting a little bit too thin to go for 3 streets, and we do block draws. We block calls with like top pair too, because we have top pair. I would continue betting things like aces here. Stuff that can get value from the King X portion of villain's range and draws, etc. I don't mind betting here because we just got pair plus flush draw in a 3-bet pot. Do go with check though. Villain now bets half pot. I think we just have an easy call. River Jack. Check again in floor. Villain goes all in, and I think we just have a easy call. I don't know what villain's bluffs are meant to be here, but we do beat some value. We beat, well, who knows? I'm trying to think of hands that might play this way from villain's perspective. That we beat King 10, Queen Jack maybe, Queen Jack of Hearts, something like that. Don't know. Obviously we do call. Villain had the 5-6. Should we bust the wizard out for this one? I think we probably should. So we're getting 6, so we haven't really lost any EV with our line. Sorry, let's go back to pre-1. Yeah, there is a little bit of flatting. I thought there might be. 3-bet call. 2 ticks for our flop size. Didn't like check it once just to start blasting here. It's just a pure bet, isn't it? For various sizes, with 75% significantly being the most used size. Pure calling when checking. Pure checking river. And pure calling. So, yeah, okay. Dope. Next hand, pocket kings, open, 3-bet. I don't mind sneaking some traps in here now and again, but 4-bet's going to be the play. We did sneak a trap in. I don't mind this. Yeah, it stinks when an ace pops off and you're like, oh, bollocks, but I don't mind this. Villain, blast c-bets. We call. Villain, jams turn. We call. Nothing much to be said about this. And villain had ace queen, which we may have stacked either way had we 4-bet. Well, whatever. I don't mind having some traps in these spots. I think trapping is a lost art in poker. It's a very much a lost art. And I think against these players that 3-bet wider than most of the population but still don't meet theory ranges, but then maybe play a little bit too aggressively post flop. I think having some traps in there is actually quite nice. Squeezing the king queen suited, I think we could just easily call as well. Flop top pair, check, bet, call, turn 10. All right then. 71-29. I wouldn't have known these stats, but I would have been aware villain was a whopper. You don't miss these sort of players. I think we just have to call. And river 9, he's all in. And it's really uncomfortable. Because well, is it really uncomfortable? Do we beat value here? Probably. Although the check called donk line is usually strength. It's either strength or it's turned draw. This play's just so bad we can't fold here, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, king 4 offsuit. Last hand of the video. Pocket aces. Open. 3-bet. Call. Check. Versus someone with these stats. This might even be the same player from the last hand. Who knows? Just blast. Literally just blast. Get the money in quickly before the board gets too shitty. You what, Reg? I don't understand this. Unless I was just hoping villain might blast. Maybe I'm being too trappy. Yeah, I was trapping. I was waiting for this blast. Reggie was trapping. Why is that saying villain won the hand? Are we in a run it twice scenario here? I don't understand. Oh, I probably cashed out like a fanny. But I still don't understand why it's saying villain won the hand up in the top corner. You can't see that, but yeah. I've explained my reasons many, many, many times for cashing out. I think this is probably a bad cash out, but they're all bad ones, so who cares? Yeah. See you later, everyone.